folks at home. Welcome back to PAX Arena, presented by DoorDash, where we are in the final stretch of the tournament. Only 4 players remain, and they are fighting for the lion's share of a $10,000 prize pool here. It is a privilege to be able to be here to cast it. Kimona, Lyric, Vicky Kitty, we are here on the desk to talk about some of the best players in the entire world.
Yeah, DeBuzz currently sitting in the grand finals after that awesome set that we just saw versus him and Jackal. Jackal now waiting in the losers finals for the winner of this upcoming set in the losers semifinals. It's going to be Cosmos versus NAITOSHARP.
I kind of have to call it out too. I mean, a large tournament like this being placed in New England, we saw tons of amazing New England players today, tons of New England Peach, which seems to be the flavor of the day, but all of them have fallen, and now it is up to Sharp to defend house here. But going up against these 3 players specifically, if they are able to make the run, is no easy task at all, Kimona.
That is a tall task, like you said, to be the last bastion of New England, and then to be going up against one of the best players in the Midwest, and then one of the best players in New Jersey, and then the guy who's known as the King of New York. Those are all in your path, right? And I mean, that just goes to show the talent level that's here, right? Most of these guys are top 50 players in the entire world, and I mean, it's anybody's guess as to how this is going to go.
Yeah, and when we talk about why these players are so talented, not only do they have the results nationally out here, I want to highlight some of those home run heroes that you guys were just talking about. Naito has such a huge hero pool to play from.
Yep.
It's very impressive, but with this map set that we also currently have, the stage list, I'm worried. I'm worried out here for Cosmos because there's a lot of flat stages to go to, and Naito does have another character that he could play. I don't think he's going to take him out. We have to see. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, and I know which character you guys know I'm thinking of.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the one he was hovering. We won't see it, though, at least here in this game 1. Instead, NAITOSHARP going to go to a more tried-and-true character in that Zero Suit Samus, and Cosmos ever such a top-level threat with that Pyra and Mithra. That is what we are going to see as we kick off game 1 of the losers semifinal.
Both of these characters, I like to call them nimble and quick. Both of them very thin. They move very quickly as well. They do a ton of damage. One thing I can say from Cosmos' performance so far today is just tons of damage with Mithra. When you think of good Aegis players, you really think of Cosmos coming out on front here. Sharp, though, also has been playing very, very well, too. Fortunately, falling to DeBuzz in winner's side. But right now, you can definitely tell a lot more calm, cool, collected. Sometimes you just need that time to recuperate, Kimona.
I mean, it's one of those times where, again, when you're playing with a lot of pressure to defend your entire region, right, then yeah, you want a little bit of time to think. But I know that Sharp came into this confident, right? He knows that he's got a long path ahead of him, but I know that he went into this one knowing that he's got a chance to win it, and we're dead even here, you know, going into near the end of the first stock here.
Yeah, I love how you highlighted how Sharp made his journey over here to the loser side, Larry, but then we also got to see what happened with Cosmos versus that Jackal set in a clean 3-0. So Cosmos out for blood to prove something out here too. Goes for the dash attack, does get punished right in front of Naito.
Yeah, so close too, but it is going to be Cosmos finding the dash attack in. Now Sharp stuck on the corner. It's so kind of hard to come out of the corner sometimes versus the Aegis because Pyra so heavy hitting, but now here comes the boost kick onto the shield. That's going to be first stop going on over to Sharp, Kimona.
Mithra is a character that battles with the power of light, and that translates over to her character weight as well, because she will go down to those stocks pretty early. NAITOSHARP taking advantage of that with that up B, but it's like you said, you're not out of the woods yet when you're playing against Mithra. I mean, Zero Suit Samus has probably the best mobility in the game, but if there's any character that gives her a challenge to that title, Mithra is the one, and Cosmos pretty much undoubtedly has the best Mithra in the world. The Pyra, on the other hand, sometimes a question, but not right there as he gets that first stock.
Like you talk about light characters out here, ZSS definitely on that radar. At 160 though, you're gonna have to kiss that stock goodbye. 44% on the second stock, a nice little spot dodge out here from Naito, and I like the patient play. Rolls away after seeing Cosmos right in front of his face, trying to see that he wants to go for these grabs. These spot dodges have definitely been on point for Naito.
Yeah, for sure. I love the movement coming out from both players, right? I like how both of them are prioritizing center stage when they recognize that they don't have the opportunity anymore. Naito, though, unfortunately going to be in the corner, so going to eat a lot from this rapid jab coming out from Cosmos. We're still going to see the Mithra, though. I like the way that Cosmos prioritizes having Mithra out, but also has the Pyra in the pocket just in case if we just want to get something early done.
Well, the Mithra is the moneymaker for Cosmos, and particularly at any of these percents where you're trying to ledge trap and you're not going directly for a KO, you stick with the Mithra because Pyra's going to get outpaced by ZSS so easily, and it's only once Cosmos is ready to pull the trigger for a KO that he's going to switch switch over to Pyra.
It's that nimble quickness that Lyric I mentioned earlier before when it comes to the ZSS, but I like that punish currently going in from Cosmos. He's going to be able to get that grab. The patience by the ledge right there too. At 126, he's got a little bit of rate to work with, and he's going all the way to the depths to make sure that Naito doesn't have an easy way to get up to the ledge. That was perfectly timed too, because he knew that he couldn't make it onto the ledge right there.
Well, and it's so important that Cosmos did that ledge trap in that sequence. That whole edge guard was orchestrated in a way that he could win it, because ZSS has an amazing recovery, but only when she has her double jump and her flip jump. That down special you see right there, they are both super key resources, but if you snipe out both of those, then her recovery suddenly becomes very subpar.
Love the down tilt into the lightning buster coming out from Cosmos now. Sharp recognizing that it's kind of an odd place to be. Last stock already, Pyra out a ton of rage, Vicky. It's not looking good if you're Sharp right now, but honestly, Zero Suit Samus has the tools to get out of tricky situations.
Oh my disgusting! That whole last sequence was disgusting from Cosmos.
That boy is different.
Off of the footstool, are you kidding me?
That boy is different. That boy is different, I'll tell you what. NAITOSHARP did not tech that footstool, which is something you can do, but once you miss that, it's over. Cosmos will chase you to the depths. And what did we say about Pyra being the one to take the stocks? When you can do stuff like this, that down air was a little bit of extra spicy sauce for you.
Oh my goodness. And then the fact that he also was able to get that up B on the platform there too. I mean, the heat was rising out there at the end of that first game.
Here we go, game number 2. We're still going to be able to see the same characters coming out from Sharp. I don't think we are going to be seeing any switches from Cosmos. We were talking about how Cosmos does play a pretty good Corrin, but honestly, the Aegis has been working very well for them so far. We did see Sharp switch on over to Sephiroth a little bit earlier in the day, but honestly, Zero Suit Samus versus Mithra seems just a lot more favorable in terms of a matchup, Kimona.
He's got a deep character pool, right? I mean, Sharp can always change things up, but I think that I like sticking with the one character that you know can contest Cosmos blow for blow when it comes for speed, because we just saw what happens when Cosmos starts advantage, when he gets you in a bad position in terms of the stage with that Pyra. But ZSS can easily escape those situations, but only when you have your resources. No double jump, has to use the flip jump. We talked about how important that was earlier.
It's huge, and when you talk about the character specifically getting that punish right out of shield right there with the up smash, you do have to talk about the mentals that some of these players bring out to the table. When Cosmos has a lead and he's feeling confident, he is such a scary player, but ooh, that flip kick, juking him up a little bit, tries to go for the side B to make his way back, 97%. This is Naito's opportunity, and so close from being able to land that.
That's one of those moments you just can't miss against a player like Cosmos, right? When you finally get those resources gone, when you finally get that ledge trap set up, you have to be aggressive, you have to take that stock, because now that deficit that you almost got away from you is now only going to build.
Cosmos, though, going to be able to find double up air with Mithra, trying to get the worst intentions out with Pyra here, but unfortunately, Blazing End going to leave Cosmos in tons of end lag. NAITOSHARP going to be able to punish very, very well.
Does get that grab, try to keep him by the ledge right now. Naito trying to reverse the situation, 73%, but Cosmos makes his way back. The up B over by the ledge, going right through it on purpose. I like the extra percentage that he's been able to reset here. Oh! And seeing into the future with the foresight.
Yeah, he said, I can see that coming from a mile away. And that's not even one of those moments where the foresight just bailed you out and got you something. That was Cosmos calling out that option. And you saw he charged that forward smash because he knew exactly where Sharp was going to end up.
Still, once again, Cosmos laying on such a pain train in neutral here. Still chopping it up with all of Mithra's aerials here. Good spot dodges, though, on both sides. This down tilt lightning buster has been getting so much mileage for Cosmos here, but NAITOSHARP just still trying to get the flip kick.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the damage output that Cosmos has been able to put down, not only with that down tilt right there too, but just in general, the power nair right in the air too. He did the switch up into the nair, so close to the blast zone. Who let Cosmos in the kitchen right now? Because he is absolutely cooking.
Cooking and cooking with fire, right? Because that Pyra has been absolutely immutable in these stocks. And you saw that. Even the Mithra was able to do it too. But Cosmos has just not missed a beat in this set so far.
Absolutely not. I think it's time for a character swap. We will be seeing the Sheik once again. The Sheik that we've already seen today going 3-0 versus Nuggets. I think once again we are sticking with the archetype that we want to be fast. And Sheik, once again, getting a lot more love, I think, in the current day modern meta. But now, here we go. What a time to bring Sheik out when you're down 2-0, you have 1 game left.
Well, and you saw Sharp play the Sheik very well earlier in the tournament, right? It's just a matter of if he's going to be able to execute that same way against Cosmos. And we saw when he was playing it earlier, playing against Peach, he had more opportunities to lock down that character and get some big combo setups. But here, this is going to be head-to-head chipping away at each other with 2 characters between Sheik and Mythra that just go at lightning speed.
Yeah, and to follow up on that, to see the matchup difference between what we witnessed between the Sheik and the Peach, you saw the needles in the air to negate the float from trying to approach into getting the bouncing fish a lot of times, taking full advantage of the rage. But this is what I'm worried about, the foresight, because you're going to try to press onto Cosmos' face, but it's going to be difficult even though Cosmos has been getting a lot out of the Pyro.
Well, the thing is that Sheik has a lot of combos that are pretty frame tight, but they're not frame perfect, right? That you're not going to be guaranteeing a lot of the combos. They just happen to be pretty much guaranteed against characters that can't break out. But that foresight comes out so quickly that if Cosmos pulls the trigger, he can escape some bad situations.
It seems like Sharp is the aggressor every single time on a lot of the combos, and then Cosmos is the one just kind of reacting here. Sharp trying to line up to get a back air, not going to be the strong hit though. So instead we'll take a little bit of the time at the end of Blazing End. Here we go though, once again finds the nair into the back air. It's not the strong one, Vicky, but now Cosmos kind of recovering from below, and Sharp now finally going to be able to find the down tip forward smash, very much still in this.
And also the transition between the Pirate to the Mythra is something that we also have to think about here. Yeah, you want to swap over to the Pirate to finish off those stocks, but the moment you do, you're giving up that speed to keep up with Naito. Even though he's not that ZSS, it's still that speed and that aggression in your face that Sheik has.
Well, and this is that exact situation coming into play, right? That Cosmos doesn't have the maneuverability to get out of the corner with the Pyra. Intelligent use of the side B right there. Blazing End is going to get him back on stage, but you see that he's just not able to maintain control of that stage. It always belongs to Sharp as long as the Pyra's out.
And now, once again, going to be able to find the Prominence, Revolt, and the stock here. We're going right back to Mythra. A little bit of Rage as well will help a lot of this damage start ticking up here. Here comes the up tilt, and now, once again, Sharp getting kind of tossed around as Mythra does with so much of the cast, ending with the up special too to just add a little cherry on top to the pain.
All the foresight there into the charge attack too. You see Cosmos having that stage control, and it is that with that swap up with the Mythra. Look how much damage he's been able to put on. 78% already. Did make the swap over to the Pyra, and now this is the opportunity for Naito to continue on the pressure when he had the stage control.
So many small optimized follow-ups from Sharp too, seeing missed techs, right? Just a small jump here and there that he's able to punish, and that right there, just jumping right over the Blazing End before that hitbox gets right to him. Cosmos going back to the ledge. We've talked about how that's such a dangerous place for him, but both of these players being so meted out with their pressure, NAITOSHARP not able to get a full confirm.
Honestly, I love the non-committal though, recognizing that the opportunity is out of there and just waiting. Sheik is a character that can get blown up very easily, but once again, Cosmos and this foresight has been such a pest in everybody's side today, constantly bailing out of so many situations.
Can we talk about the respect there too? Right there from Cosmos, not even trying to go for an immediate punish after the foresight, actually just waiting to see if he could get the grab reset instead. Something to mix up when it comes to the set that we're going to see play out as it goes on. But Naito being at 122 doesn't get scooped up.
We'll see both of these players fighting for center stage. Sharp again, not able to get his confirm, and Cosmos right out of it. Presses that air dodge, activates that foresight, gets his stock, takes the lead.
Oh, nice.
And Sharp maybe feeling a little bit snake bit, but he's right back into this game as it's one stock apiece.
Looking like Super Smash Bros. Melee there with a drop down into the back air by Sharp. Sharp now trying to bring this right back as Cosmos trying to land with that Mythra Nair to get up tilt started here. Both of them playing so careful, but it will be Cosmos finding the down throw Nair, double back air into the up special, looking so clean right now.
That one string, 53 and climbing, by the way. Yeah, he managed to reset, finally manages to answer back, but 62% already onto Sheik. You know she likes to play into that rage, but right now, Cosmos has had no problem being able to build up into that damage and then swooping over to those Pyro.
The damage is the big difference between these two, because both of these characters are virtually unpunishable compared to the rest of the cast, as Sharp uses that little footstool to get back to center stage, but a little bit too greedy trying to get the follow-up. Cosmos bails out, down air, not going to lead into the up air, does chase him on the platform. One more hit from this Pyra will end this set, and it will be the forward tilt at the ledge. NAITOSHARP goes down one more time to that Pyra, and Cosmos closes out a clean 30.
That was such a good set from both players. I wanted to see a little bit more Sheik. I do think that Sharp was figuring it out at the end, but I think Cosmos' use of foresight got the better hand almost the entire set. Once again, NAITOSHARP known for the zero suit, but the Sheik gave such a good show, and honestly, I'm so happy that we get to see Sharp offline.
Yeah, you know, to follow up what we also were talking about earlier, it's those tight frame combos that Komona had mentioned that the foresight will allow Cosmos to always have a better position. Even when it comes to sometimes the situations where when Naito made the swap over to the Sheik, you can expect the attempt with the drag down up air, try to follow up underneath the platforms into these up smashes. But how can you have that when the foresight just allows Cosmos to be in a better position and then get the combo on you into a forward smash instead, or an up smash?
It's just a matter of knowing the matchup, right? Knowing what combos I can normally go for like that,
So
that suddenly
nasty.
you just can't go for. And that's kind of the difference between these characters, right? Is that both of them, like I mentioned, are more or less virtually unpunishable when they throw out their moves and they space them correctly. But Cosmos has that mastery of both the Foresight and of the Pyra as well, which gives him a real leg up on that character. Even though they were so evenly matched, NAITOSHARP gonna go out at 4th, and Cosmos moving on to losers finals to get his rematch against Jackal.